Good evening, great Biafrans and wonderful people. I welcome you this evening once again. This is Radio Biafra, Hello Motherland, and of course it is Constructive Argument here on Radio Biafra. And of course, you all know why we are here this evening. And as you know me, I don't waste time. And you know the barrister who will be joining me, he is indeed a busy man, and I would not want to keep him long this evening. Therefore, we are going to commence in earnest. We have decided to bring Barrister Ejiofor this evening on air so that he can come and tell us what happened at Abuja High Court yesterday. Of course, it was a mockery of the judicial system, but this evening we are going to x-ray everything. And if time permits, of course, I am going to open the lines and take one or two calls so that we can make it a bit interactive. So if you have a question for the barrister this evening, I think you are welcome to do so when I open the line. My name is Amazi Ikechukwu Onoha. I hail from Umowa in Olo province of Biafra land. And of course, this is Constructive Argument here on Radio Biafra. But before we continue, I would like to say one or two words of prayer before we go straight to what we have this evening. Father, we thank you, we bless you this evening. We have come once again, O Lord, to exalt your name. And Father, as we have come, we invite you to come and take control and take preeminence in whatever we are going to do. Father, we pray and we bless your name. We thank you for the life of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and IPOB worldwide. Father, we say, continue to show yourself a mighty God, that at the end of the day, victory will be guaranteed. Thank you, Father, for we prayed in the name of Chukwoki Kabiama. All right, without wasting time, I would like to go straight to the barrister and see if I have him on air. Of course, joining me this evening is our erudite barrister, Sir Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He is the IPOB lead counsel, and of course, he is the senior counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, they are doing exploits, as you already know. I don't need to tell you that. Barrister, I don't know if you can hear me, please. If you can you please indicate?
I'm hearing you very clear and loud.
Awesome. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Constructive Argument with Mazi Ikechukwu on Radio Biafra. Barrister, the floor is yours. We want you to make sense, of what happened in Abuja for us, of course, to the layman perspective, that we will understand and be on the same page. And of course, we will open the line if time permits, so we can take a couple of calls from Biafrans who would like to ask one or two questions. Please, Barrister, if you may.
Thank you so much, Mazi Ikechukwu.
Thank you very much.
Let us one mind to be in your platform this evening. Thank you, Biafrans, who are listening this evening. It's my pleasure to be in this platform this evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
First of all, let me go back to the questions you asked. Before yesterday, when we got knowledge of the fact that the federal government has filed a new charge against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on Friday last week, I made it known to the world by the statement we issued last week Friday that nothing will happen in court on Monday, because the pronouncement and declaration of Court of Appeal, the judgment delivered on 13th day of October 2022, is clear and unequivocal to the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is prohibited from being detained, is prohibited from being charged to court, being prosecuted in any court in Nigeria. Even on the respect of the charge being appealed against or on any other charge, and court proceeded to struck out the 7 count the next president charge, and consequently discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So on the basis of this judgment of the Court of Appeal, it's extant that it cannot be prosecuted in any court again, it can never be investigated, it can never be tried in any court. So we are actually waiting to see the magic that the federal government will perform yesterday. And they will actually take its course, because we know that no charge is mentioned in court. And as a matter of fact, no charge was mentioned. Though there was a smart move on their part to file a fresh charge, which was filed, and we made effort to see if we can get a copy from them, even from the court. Nobody gave us any copy. I approached them when we came to court yesterday to demand a copy of the charge, the file. They said no, we don't have any copy. I went to the issue of the court to ask them for a copy. They said no, I should go to my colleagues. So I said, when has it become the practice that the prosecutor will find a charge and be holding it? Okay, let's see what happened during the proceedings. Then eventually, when the first charge was mentioned, the one that took us to court of appeal was mentioned and we reported the status of the case to the court, it was adjourned sine die. That means the court cannot talk about the matter again until when we are done in the Supreme Court. Then they not mention that new charge. That most of the size and remote charge. They mentioned it, and we told the court that there is no our legal silk and legal counsel, she's Michael Zuckerberg, promptly told the court that look, we never expected them to even mention a charge in the first place. That would concern abuse of court process in view of the subsequent judgment of the Court of Appeal. So which the court concurred and said it's okay, start the correct position of the law. And consequently also adjourned that one, so they die. So we also have a matter against them. We filed. That was the third case on the left court case. The fundamental right case that was filed on behalf of Onyende Mazikano, challenging his illegal detention from 13th of October 2022 when the man was delivered and President was directed to release him after being discharged and acquitted of the return 7 count charge. So we filed our application before the trial court to challenge his illegal detention in the custody of SSS. So that's the matter came up yesterday, and the court also said since the matter is done before the Supreme Court, that we will start to take the entire cases at the end of the conclusion of the case before the Supreme Court. That was actually what happened yesterday, in summary.
All right, that's beautiful. Barrister, so where do we go from here? Since Abuja High Court, because for me this is a mockery of the judicial system. It's more like somebody who went to a magistrate court, you understand, and then of course the matter was appealed and it goes to a high court and a high court rule in the favor of the appellant. And now maybe the prosecutor decide, no, I'm going back to the magistrate again to question the ruling of the high court. Is that not madness? Can you please tell me how this works?
It's a clear case of abuse of court process. That is what can be interpreted to be, because when it has to do with the second attempt to file a new charge. However, when the matter came up that was sometime June, 28th of June, when it came up on 28th of June for ruling was delivered, that was one of the Court of Appeal has been entered against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, the 7 count charge. The court also decided to adjourn the matter to 14th of November. That was yesterday. The report extracts from the matter before the Court of Appeal. So it was the thinking of the court then that it's possible that this matter that appeal may not have been concluded before 14th, but will come back to report the court what is developing, what the state of the case before the Court of Appeal. So actually, which ordinarily will intend sending the general to court yesterday, trying to that reform the court and tender the efficacy of the judgment of the Court of Appeal before the court. But when we discovered that a game they are playing, they are playing a game, so the said no, we have to be in court. So because we have to again to make sure that they didn't play a smart one. So and eventually we have to be again and we have our way. So another thing I want to let me just make this.
Yes, go ahead, please.
On the status of the matter before the Supreme Court. You know, when judgment was delivered in this case, on October 2022, the worship when the Supreme Court of Appeal took out the 7 count charge then, discharged Onyende Mazikano, and consequently made some declaration which I mentioned before now. So then the federal government filed an appeal against that judgment of the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. Then I'm proceeded to file an application for stay of the execution of that judgment. So we also cross appeal on some fundamental issues on the judgment permit, the Supreme Court also. Then and also file a counter affidavit to the application for stay, which was argued and had on the merit. However, on the 28th of October 2022, ruling on that application was delivered, though it was had by a different panel of justices on the Court of Appeal. Not same justices that had the main appeal. This panel, then headed by Justice Sankey, granted the application for stay of execution of judgment of the Court of Appeal, pending determination of appeal before the Supreme Court. Now, because what it entails, that by granting that order for stay, now it becomes now you can no longer contest the fact that only the man can be being held illegally, because the other direction that should be released has been stayed, not qualified, not set aside. Get me clear. That order has not been validated, has not been set aside, has not been qualified. It's just temporarily stayed. The order by issue of other members of appeal, which is I don't know, let me not comment about the legality of that order, because we already decided the same. So what we did was to all appeal against that order for stay before the Supreme Court, and fortunately appeal has been entered. This has been filed as I speak to you now, and we are aggressively following up, which I may not mention the matter which we are adopting. So which we are adopting, following up on the date, and in accordance with the fast track rules of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, that application, that appeal will be held in line with the provisions of the fast track rules of Supreme Court, and which in the case is just hearing. Obviously, it's going to be given any more from now, and once that is done, I will communicate it. So let's assume, let's hope, or in the event, in the likely event that that appeal was had and granted in October, that will be the end of the case. That will be the end of Nnamdi Kanu's detention in SSS facility. They will release him. It will not also still affect the appeal, the main appeal. The court will release him, then the court will direct him to go and obey the court order. That was what it means simply. So that appeal has been entered. Then on the part of the federal government that appeal against the judgment of the court of appeal, as I speak to you, the time allow them under the fast track rules of the court of appeal, have a loss. And they don't fight their views. As I speak to you, even our court of appeal, we also fight our views with the court of appeal. Their appeal against the court of appeal has not fight their views for now. So we're not bothered about that actually. What we are more interested in now as we speak to you is for justice to hear our appeal challenging the order. Because once that order is set aside, that will end. They can leave the appeal maybe next year or two, and 2030 you can hear you, or to hear it. It's not a problem with that. The one that order is set aside, they don't even do the news. What we are more interested at this point in time about the freedom. Once it steps in, the main appeal can be adjourned to 2030 or 2035 or 2040. Wait. That's the one problem.
All right, thank you very much. If you are listening, of course, it is constructive argument. And joining me this evening live is the erudite barrister. He's not just a barrister, he is also a sir of the Order of the Night. And he is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He is the IPOB lead counsel and, of course, the senior counsel to Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu. And, of course, if you want to join this conversation, you are welcome to call +27 740 678 412. I repeat, +27 740 678 412, and that is the WhatsApp line. You can call and put your question through to the barrister this evening. For the last time, +27 740 678 412. Barrister, so I can see you are very confident, of course, that if your appeal is granted, that the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. Now, let me ask you, what if this government that we know refused to release him because they are known to be flaunting every known court orders? What will be your next line of action?
The consequences will be very harsh. And I can't imagine, in my wildest imagination, that the federal government will disobey, will now again for the second time disobey the order of Supreme Court. If our appeal is considered on the merit and granted. I don't think so. I will find it very difficult to believe that they disobey that order. Ultimate judgment for the court of appeal. I find it very difficult that they will do that. Very possible. I don't think they will do that.
All right. I remember that the federal government, of course, went to ask for the stay of the ruling of the appeal court so that they can go to wherever. So are they still going to the Supreme Court, the federal government? Because I think the option is open for them to do so if they so wish to.
You didn't get my question. The federal government filed appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal.
All right.
The judgment of the Court of Appeal was the one delivered on the 13th of October, 2022. Judgment delivered on our appeal will file against the 7-count charge returned against Mazonian Muslim becoming. And that judgment, the court decided and acquitted him. The court restrained the federal government from detaining him again. The court restrained any other court in Nigeria from prosecuting him or trying him or even investigating him. The court directed that he should be released without further delay. So that was the substance of the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Now the federal government filed appeal against that judgment. They filed appeal on the 17th day of October 2020. That was the date they filed notice of appeal and filed on us. Now, when they filed the notice of appeal, because notice of appeal in law does not consider as a stay of execution. So when they filed the notice of appeal, proceeded to also file, because when a notice of appeal is filed, it's at that point in time that Zoom appeal has been filed against the government, existing government. Then, and when they filed the notice of appeal, they also proceeded to file a motion to stay the order. They took the order and judgment of that court, the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which they appealed against the Supreme Court. That motion for stay was had on 28th of October 2022. That was it. The motion was had. Well, the motion was had on 22nd but the other billing was delivered on 28th of October 2022. Now, on that 28th of October 2022, the court granted them a new set of panel of this sort of appeal, had this motion, and granted them order for stay. So what I'm saying, and under the Supreme Court fast track rule, when you file an appeal in a case of this nature, a case which is recognized under the rules to be heard expeditiously, you are expected to file your appellate brief 10 days from the date of transfer of record to Supreme Court. And as I speak to you, it's over 10 days, you will not file a brief. But that's not our concern. Our concern now, which is more important to us, is to ensure that our appeal against the other side, the execution of Court of Appeal, is hard. Because when that appeal is hard, and possibly the judgment enters in our favor, then that is the end of it. Because the judgment is entering in our favor today, and the court directs the federal government to obey the order made by Court of Appeal. They have no other option. That will even accept their appeal as the main appeal before the Court of Appeal, before the Supreme Court. They have no other option than to obey the order made by Court of Appeal by releasing Mazonian Bikana, which is more important to us. When it is released, then we'll go on appeal, we'll go back to them on appeal and take it up from there. So what I'm trying to explain to you in effect is that the federal government filed its appeal against the judgment. Then, after filing its appeal against the judgment, they also filed a motion for stay, which was heard by court and granted. Now, and after granting this motion for stay, records of the Court of Appeal was transmitted to the Supreme Court, right? And since then, they've not filed the appellate brief.
All right. Yes, I get it.
In principle, they abandoned the appeal in principle. But you have appealed against that order, saying the execution of the event of the Court of Appeal, which is more important. The one that order is set aside, only the release. That's all. And also, cross appeal on other fundamental issues that they raised during the hearing of the appeal. We'll cross appeal on that too.
All right.
So
100%. Yes, Matthew, you are making sense, and of course, I believe everybody is understanding. And the reason why I wanted you to expatiate more on that is, see, we are talking law here, and of course, for a layman to understand, we need to re-emphasize and overemphasize. And of course, I thank you very much for that. Matthew, please go ahead if you still have anything to add on that issue.
So what we are doing now in effect, we are finding our briefs. We are following up on date for the hearing. And also, date for hearing is in line with the provisions of the fast track rules of the Supreme Court. So, which in the state provided for speedy hearing of that appeal. I mean, our appeal, challenging the order. So, and I can assure you, God being on our side, a date to be given anymore from now. And once that is done, we'll communicate to the world and also to Umushineke, in particular. So, we are not relenting. We are equal to the tax. And we are doing well by God's grace. I believe God
absolutely
success, and God has been so wonderful to us and being there for us at every given point in time. You can see we have held them in the job as we stand today, because now they don't listen on our side. What is on our side? This is people who have before now, they have to pride and convicted over the social media. But today, the court of competent division has decided him, acquitted him, asked him to ask you to try to listen. So as I speak to you today, there is no charge hanging on his neck today in Nigerian court. No charge was ever. No charge. He's a free person. Let's finish before the Supreme Court. We will go his way. That's all. But he's a free person. There's no charge was ever standing on his neck now today. That was some application, our objection yesterday before the very high court. That on the authority of court appeal, on it doesn't have the kind against the government. But no court will try him, no court will prosecute him, no person will investigate him. You are prohibited from detaining him. And it's very sound and clear. Very sound and clear. So we are hopeful that it's going to be communicated to us between now and the shortest possible time. That I can assure you. It's shortest possible time. And I don't want to go further than this. Let me one print the process which we are exploring. So let me print and possibly those who want to know more.
All right, Mazi, thank you very much. And of course, I believe that you are going to give Biafrans a Christmas present, if you know what I mean by that, by the grace of Chukwuka. All right, absolutely. If you still want to call and ask your question, I'm not sure, maybe the network is down because we are using WhatsApp. You can still try on +27 740 678 412. I repeat, +27 740 678 412 if the network allows. Mazi, after the ruling of the High Court, obviously you and your team went to see our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Talk to me. How is he looking? And are there messages from him to Biafrans? Please go ahead.
He was in high spirits yesterday, and hearing about and seeing about being brief about actually what transpired in front of appeal in Accra yesterday. Of course, we never expect the contract to happen. It was related to the brief on the progress development of yesterday. And he passed a number of messages to me. And as a matter of fact, when he was passing this message, he specifically cautioned and asked for something. Okay, he specifically requested that message should be conveyed in language in which was being delivered. And that message, I believe, has been delivered to people who are concerned. And then he's actually calling for calm and the people to understand that the law is our side now, and understand the defects and the creed, the ethics of the movement. So basically, for people to understand that this is a movement has labored for so many years to build, and movement has spent and sacrificed a lot to build. So we wouldn't want anybody to destroy this movement, destroy this God divine movement. So he's only cautioning and also urging Chineke to be very circumspect of so many underhands and some number of people. You may think they are working with you, but apparently working against you. And it's more so when we are in a critical time. Because once you are coming to an end of the process, you see confusion and possibly people who are being used by enemies of progress to distort the process. So you see them manifesting from different forms. So they are being cautioned to be conscious of this character and also probably place them where they belong and make sure they never deny them. And also to be conscious of the principle. I've been teaching them before now, that I believe it's all about peaceful movement and ideology. So he passed establishing messages. And to this thing, from this politically, that from time to time, we'll be sending messages in that respect to ensure that people understand that he is the one who is in detention. Understand that he is the one who is being confined in total confinement, who is being subjected to all forms of emotional torture and psychological torture today. He's being there alone. Imagine when somebody is alone in a room, day in, day out, he's alone there, talking to his God. So the person needs to be prayed for. The person needs to be respected. His mission needs to be respected. So these are some of the messages we pass across yesterday.
All right.
And thankfully, other people were there to witness the messages. I don't think we went alone. Other people were there to witness it.
All right.
People who are apparently,
all right. Mazi, I will still come back to that. With that in mind, let's go to the line and see if we can take this call. Caller on the line, can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Oh, hey, Biafra. Mazi, please, your names, and you go straight to your question because of time. Thank you very much.
Mazi, my name is Mazi. I'm calling from France.
All right.
My question is, in Nigerian law, is it separate from international law based on when it comes to issue of rendition from outside Nigeria? Did their law accepted to do the rendition in the case of our leader?
All right.
That's the first one.
Okay.
The second one, in Nigerian law, did they give the Nigerian Bar Association, did they allow someone like Malami to misbehave or disobeying their law without any charges or without any penalty?
All right. I get your question. All right, Mazi. Thank you very much. I will put your question through to the barrister. Thank you very much. There we go. All right, barrister, I don't know if you get the question. The first one is bothering.
No, I didn't hear it.
All right, he's asking, does Nigeria obey international law, especially in the case of extraordinary rendition? That is number one question. Number two, he's asking in terms of the code of ethics of the Nigerian Bar Association. Is Malami above the code of ethics? Why don't the Bar Association call him to order? Please go ahead.
Let me just put it this way. Nigeria operates a system that has no respect for the rule of law. We operate a system whereby people who are supposed to be in a position to advise them are people who are kind of, they are more or less like not only incompetent, but they are mediocre, kind of. So, because the bedrock of every society is respect for the rule of law and social justice. But I can assure you, when the political activity system have no respect for the rule of law, they take laws into their hands. So, but going further, the aspect of international community involvement or ruling of decisions is very impactful because there are straightforward ways of getting it implemented. So, because when the government, like in the present case now, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention delivered a communication to the Nigerian government requesting, and part of submissions made in that communication, I participated in supplying materials that were used in that communication. Evidence is here. So I mean, materials that were used in that probably that proceeding before the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. So at the end of the day, made a communication to the Nigerian government requesting them to release Mazin Nnamdi unconditionally. And also, there's some parishing pronouncements that has to do with the reparation payable on account of the work violation of his right. So, this order or ruling communication was not obeyed. They were given 6 months limit to comply. So, now in the likely event, or likely event that continue to disobey this ruling or communication for UN, there are excellent procedures through which to get them, compel obedience, to compel compliance, which well spelled out under the procedure. So thankfully on 13th of October 2022, the Court of Appeal also delivered a landmark document wherein they declared the manner in which Onyendu was abducted. It was kind of really the word abducted in Kenya and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria as illegal. I mean, it is a violation of extant international laws and conventions which Nigeria is a state of. So, by virtue of this declaration, because I believe some relevant foreign government and institutions are waiting for pronouncement from Nigerian court. And this pronouncement has come handy from a very reputable intermediate court, not even high court. So now we are before the Supreme Court. But the most important thing, as it stands, the fact is that Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted of all crimes against him, and the manner in which he was abducted and possibly rendered to Nigeria has also been declared illegal and gross violation of international laws, extant international laws, OAU conventions, many of them, and also Extradition Act of 2015. We have a number of laws, African women and people's rights, which the Nigerian government violated in kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu and the extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. So what is found there is that with respect to the government of Court of Appeal, we're still caught. With respect to the communication from United Nations working group and communication or organization, they don't respond to it, they don't comply with it. So thirdly, we are talking about code of ethics by which is
Nigeria Bar Association. Yes.
Applicable to life, Nigeria, my person, the Islam advocate, Malamalani. I made an introductory part of this in this topic. I talk about the manner in which the system is skewed to favor a certain person, to favor certain person. The Malamin will give respect to him and to justice. These are people that live above the law. These are people that you cannot touch. Then, I've discussed this subject before in one of my interviews. Nigerian Bar Association, as far as I'm concerned, they are a toothless bulldog, as far as I'm concerned. I read myself, for instance. 2019, my house was invaded. Over 10 houses were bombed. People were killed. This person said, I don't remember you. You were not involved. A lawyer for that matter, a lawyer for that matter. Last year, June 2nd, my house was also invaded. My PA was killed right in my house, bombed, and my vehicle bombed, and my pay of my domestic house were abducted in the process. I wrote to MPA, what have they done? So it's a messed up system, that I can assure you. We are struggling to see, it's not easy doing this, what you are doing today. It's not easy. Not everybody can do it the way which you are doing. They're just believing in God and God. It's a mission God ordained for us to function. Otherwise, we would alive today to become this way. Because it's a system that have no respect for human rights. It's a system that have no respect for rule of law. It's a system that have no respect for certain persons for certain reasons. So these are what you are facing today. But that's why we are trying to have high heaven, trying to go through talks to ensure that international community is involved. And we are hopeful that there will be a change in narrative because of time. And because I believe the international community and foreign government are gradually showing interest in what's happening in Nigeria. And these are the manner in which cost others are being distributed, being plotted with humanity and with impunity. And so that's only NAD available to us in the circumstance. They don't expect anything much from them. So, and in fact, only the Nigerian case is concerned. It's a global case, which I believe virtually all foreign governments are involved, are interested in the case. So, and the world is monitoring. The world is watching to know how we are going about it. And that's why we kept on updating the world, kept on writing them at every stage of the proceedings, at every stage of the proceeding course, or to inform them what is happening. So they are following up. I can assure you they are following up on what you are doing. And I believe in the fullness of time, that must end the prison. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister. Of course, I know Barrister is a busy man, but before we let him go, let's see if you can take one or two more calls, and then we will let the Barrister go. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Second caller, can you hear me? Please, your names.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Good evening, Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, even enemies of Biafra. We greet all of you. Mazi Kechukwu, thank you for the good job that you are doing. I also want to appreciate our able barrister. Not only him and his team, our legal team, they are doing a great job. I'm saying kudos to all of them. May Elohim continue to strengthen them. The question you asked, if you can remember the day you were analyzing what was the appeal court's ruling, where the day you were analyzing it, telling Malami what he should have known as the attorney of that contraption. I wrote something on the comment section. I'm saying comparing the zoo with South African judicial system doesn't work because these people they are different.
Mazi, sorry not to interrupt you. If you can go straight to that question. So, Barrister is a busy man. He will be leaving soon. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. No, actually, it's not a question. I want to encourage our barrister and all our legal teams.
All right.
I want to encourage them for them to keep on doing the good job they are doing. It's somehow embarrassing. The court will give its verdict and the zoo will be doing a different thing, It somehow demoralizes one, but they should keep on with that spirit. Biafra IPOB, we are with them. Elohim Chukwokika is with us. And we know zoo should cover, they should, when it comes to the case of our leader and the IPOB, by now they should have covered themselves with shame. The court will say a different thing and they'll be doing a different thing. But all we are saying, we know, in the end, victory is ours.
Absolutely.
It is this Biafra referendum. We must get our referendum. We must get our Biafra. We must be free from these animals. Mazi, may Elohim continue to strengthen all your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Now and always.
You say?
All
right. Barrister, he is just acknowledging and, of course, encouraging you and your team for the good work you are doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Barrister, I want to say something. The reason why I decided to study law here in South Africa, and by God's grace, I just finished my final year. Barrister, here in South Africa, a lawyer of 25 years old, the way he is respected, I'm talking a 25-year-old lawyer, even the president cannot talk to that lawyer anyhow. And then when you look at the zoo called Nigeria, the way things are happening, I think you guys are strong. To be honest with you, to be a lawyer in Nigeria is the most difficult thing on the planet Earth. Please go ahead.
My brother, we are in a civilized society that respects and values the rules of law, and you can see how things move there. Over last year, the former president of South Africa was arrested and tried and eventually convicted for fraud-related matters, offenses. In the country, a former president of the country.
And sent to jail. And sent to jail,
and sent to jail. So you can't try such thing here. You can't try such thing. Because the system, as I've said it before now, that here, the system is skewed towards favoring certain persons. It's an elitist system, kind of, that favors certain group of persons. So, and discriminates against certain persons. So this is what should be. It's a very strong and formidable system. But one who is going to be who is going to operate under that system will also be strong and fearless and formidable. Because laws here are dynamic. Here I see law being dynamic. Someone, Mr. A, will come and interpret a certain aspect of law in a manner that will favor the interest. Then Mr. B will interpret it according to law. It's not in court of appeal. So the judgment, a unanimous judgment of court of appeal, believed by able to find a final version of court of appeal, was stayed. And it is worse still where there's no enabling laws. Extant judicial authorities that support staying under execution in a criminal matter. In criminal matters, it hasn't been handled. Stand in the picture of somebody's constitutional guarantee right. It's not done. But I don't want to go into the military otherwise on the decision because I don't want to argue my case again. There's only before the Supreme Court. So a lot goes on here, and it's only requires someone who is strong in his faith, strong in spirit, who also knows God to defend and be fighting. It's the function of you have to function of being close to your God. If you are not close to God, forget it. You are gone. And God has been so merciful to us. I must tell you, I must confess that, and I've been so grateful to God for all He has been doing for us. Sustain us in this fight. Sustain us against all enemies, attack and plans. And at that point, I will go to God. I will go to church and be asking God, why do you love me so much? Why do you love me? The people of God, my brother, I tell you today, people have been. He said, your father was involved in this case from 2015. You know, 2015 was not involved in this case. After 2015, some people are so strong that don't even know what IPOB is all about. And you can come back after 2015. Some people don't even understand what IPOB is all about. They've been in this case since 2015 today. And we're so strong, tall and standing firm, upright, transparent, and incorruptible. That's the most important thing. We remain unshaken in our belief, in our understanding of the law, in our application of the law, in defense of IPOB and marginal becoming. I said it before now. Me, if I'm a job for my chambers and my group and my lawyers and colleagues in office, since 2016 till date, I cannot count the numbers. The number of IPOB who have been able to handle their matters and will release unconditionally. They are in their thousands. Records are there. So it's not by my mind. It's by the grace of God. I'm not listening about it because it's the grace God gives us. So we cannot say no to that. I will continue to do our best to ensure that the right thing is done. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
I'm available at any point in time you want me to talk to you. So we are available. Though I have a time schedule, but I'll just give you some notice. I will talk to you. I will talk to you.
Mazi, before you go, I have just two things quickly I need to run by you. Now, you know that law is about precedence. It's about setting a precedence. Now, when you set a precedence in law, the next generation will refer even to that case and say, the state versus Nnamdi Kanu, this is what was the outcome. And that precedence can be used, of course, to judge a case in the present world. Now, I want to let you know that what you guys are doing is you are changing the course of Nigeria legal frameworks. And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, people will be referring to this case, state versus Nnamdi Kanu, 2022, 2015, and it will be a precedence because, to be honest with you, people until now, nobody believed that you can go to the devil's house and take out anything from there. But that's what you people are showing the whole world, that you can still get justice from that zoo called Nigeria, come what may. And it's happening right before our own eyes. And to be honest with you, it can only be Elohim. And I really want to say you guys are doing extremely well. Now, before I get your final shot, I want to say this, barrister. There is what we call a legal practitioner and client confidentiality. Now, what am I trying to say? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated. The only voice that he has now is his legal representation. That's what people don't understand. And I want them to understand that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot speak through anybody except his legal representative. That is how it works, because he is presumed to be incommunicado, and it's only his legal representatives can speak to him. Why am I saying this? Whenever you go to see your client and he tells you something or give you a message to pass on, Mazi, when you pass that message, you don't do it apologetically. You pass it direct because it is legal. It is ethics. Because one thing is sure, you can never lie against a man who is alive. By and by, he will come out. And of course, there will be references to say, your lawyer said this, said that, said that. And then he will own up and say, yes, I asked him to, or I didn't ask him to. That's why I get confused and upset when people begin to question a legal practitioner when he is representing or speaking what his client asked him to say. Mazi, can I get your final show?
I will interrupt you.
Yes,
I will interrupt you before you forget.
Yes, go ahead.
It's actually my wish to say this thing over the different platform. It's something I've been keeping to myself. And also, giving me an Muslim American. Sometimes, you know, I'm saying this thing with every kind of seriousness and sincerity. You know, certain things that happen. When you do, just looking at me. You just looking at me, are you sure your service is actually the position? You know, ask certain questions. People, they realize that they're talking to my lawyer. They realize that this person is my lawyer. And I will communicate to them through the time. So let me just stop here. But in fact, what has been giving me the encouragement, I don't give attention to distraction. Believe me, I can say that, I will say that now to my kingdom come. I'm a very busy lawyer. Very, very busy lawyer. And I have a lot on my hands. My own obligation today, legal obligation, and moral obligation to remain Mazan. I discuss with him as not only a client, as a brother. And anytime he passes a message across to the people, me, I will not hesitate in doing that. It's a function of time. Let me say this to you. It's a function of time. It's a function of time. Those who are praying, thinking that will not come out, that they're daydreaming. Those who are trying to destroy what you have built, they're daydreaming. Because they will shock. And it will happen soon. It's a function of time. I did that, right? But I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen. Let me just stop at here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Ndewo, and we really appreciate you coming up again, even on a short notice, to speak to Biafrans. It's because we believe that this is Radio Biafra, and of course on this platform is where we worship Elohim. On this platform is where we speak to Umu Chineke around the world. Thank you very much. We really appreciate Ndewo.
Thank you. I think God bless you.
And bless you
too.
too.
You have a wonderful evening in Biafra. I go to all. Thank you for your prayers, your support, and solidarity. We appreciate you. Are deeply grateful, profoundly grateful to you all. Continue to pray for us. Continue to pray for Union. Continue to pray for what you are doing. And your prayers have been impacting because it has been victory all over the places. Victory in Abuja, victory in Omaha, victory in all over the places, victory in Kenya, victory in the UK. So, and it shall end in victory. Ultimately, it will happen soon. And Union will be free. God bless you all.
And bless you too. Thank you very much. And that was the voice of the erudite barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He is, of course, IPOB lead counsel and, of course, a senior counsel to Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And coming up this evening, and of course, to speak to Biafrans worldwide. And you have heard it from the horse's mouth. And of course, it is our duty, it is our responsibility to bring you up to date now and then so that you can be in the know what is happening or what is transpiring as far as our leaders' legal issue is concerned. Now, one thing I know, and I must tell you this, is this: there is something we call, a confidentiality between a legal counsel and his client. And trust me, for my own sake and what I've learned in law school is that when a lawyer says his client said, of course, you need to agree, you need to believe as far as that client is still alive, because by and by at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail, the truth will always come out. It's just the way it is. It is a legal norm which you cannot change by your doubts or by your own belief, because at the end of the day, legality allows it to be so. And of course, this evening we have spoken the truth, we have spoken the word the way we should, because it is constructive argument. And of course, we say bring your argument so that we can make sense of that argument. And of course, we are going to leave it here. I want to thank you, Biafrans all around the world, as we await our Christmas present. What is our Christmas present? The release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are hopeful that he is going to rejoin us, that he is going to spend this Christmas with his family and IPOB family worldwide. This is our dream. This is our prayer. And it will come to pass, I tell you. And of course, Elohim, he is our God. He is listening to our prayers. And of course, this is where we are going to leave it this evening. From me and from here, it is goodbye. May God bless Biafra. May God bless our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And I will speak to you again soon. Good night and God bless.